Hello, Eurovisionaries. I'm Lauren Shippen, professional writer whose sole interaction with Eurovision is the fact that I really, really love ABBA.
I think that is more than enough, Lauren. I love ABBA as well. And I'm Cherokee McAnelly, head of entertainment at Tumblr, who cha-cha-cha. And if you know, you know.
And this is Dashboard Diaries, a podcast for you, the folks who are in this internet bunker with us. We talk about what's going on in our favorite hell site, get into what we like to call Tumblr, do fandom deep dives, and share the times when we've gone feral over a new ship. Cherokee, what has your last week on Tumblr been like?
My last week on Tumblr has actually been not on the internet at all. I unplugged and went away for the weekend to a cabin where I did not look at my phone, which was wonderful. But I am so excited to dive into the Eurovision content on Tumblr. It is my evening plan tonight, and also to talk about it with you today. Oh my gosh, actually, I said that now, and then I realized Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. We did an answer time with the cast of Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, and it is going live actually today, which is Monday as we're recording this. So by the time it's up, you will be able to see it all. But I know that Tumblr is going wild over Queen Charlotte, and everyone has fallen in love with Corey Milcrease, who plays the king. And, you know, I am just very, very excited to see how people respond to this interview. So that's what my last week on Tumblr has been like. What about you, Lauren?
That's amazing. I still need to watch Queen Charlotte, but I have had the classic Tumblr experience of my Tumblr Dash is filled with gift sets of this ship that now I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this week. So that's my plan for upcoming. But yeah, the past week has been a lot of Queen Charlotte gift sets. And then one of my several incredibly niche fandoms is Justified. And there were some new photos released from the new Justified City Primeval. It's not a reboot. It's not a revival. It's not a continuation. It's like a separate sort of like little miniseries based off of some different source material from the same author who made the short story that Justified was originally based on. And EW did like a whole article on it this week. And so my dash was filled with photos of Timothy Oliphant and his real life daughter, who is playing his daughter in the show. And so I got very excited for that. That comes out in July. And I cannot wait to have Raylan Givens back in my life because he is a delightful, chaotic man. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
I am so happy for your continuation of gruff father with daughter titles.
Yes, exactly. A gruff father and like spunky teenage girl, because she's a teenager now. She was born in Justified, but like, you know, she's a baby in the last 2 seasons. And so now we get to see what Raylan is like as a father, which I'm going to guess not good. And I cannot wait.
Excited about it. And he's your Blorbo.
He is. Speaking of Blorbos from television shows of years past, do you have anything from the archives today to share for our dashboard confessionals?
I absolutely do, Lauren. This is a post from 2018, and I just truly could not tell you what is going on here. I'm not sure.
I just opened it.
Right. And also they tagged it. So it's a post from Global Offensive who tagged staff. And then it's just a photo of an apple that has like someone stuck plastic, like toy transformer arms and legs into it. And it's holding a trident because why not?
I don't know whether to be like enamored of this apple or scared of it, because it's like, you know, it's holding a weapon, but it's kind of got like a jaunty pose.
Yeah, I feel like
it looks
a protector.
Friendly.
Yeah,
it's a like protector. I like that.
We're jaunty protectors, I hope.
Absolutely, this is such a perfect encapsulation of what Tumblr is. This photo. I love it.
What about you, Lauren? What do you have this week?
I have something that, to me, is a perfect encapsulation of 2015. So this was a post from the AV Club, actually, from May 20th, 2015. And it is a mashup of the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt theme song with Mad Max Fury Road. And like, that is just like, it's such a 2015 thing. Like, for those of you who maybe are on the younger side of our audience, there was this bizarre time in our lives where in like 2012 to 2015, these like auto-tuned mashups of like newsreel were very popular. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it happened, but it did. And Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, if you've ever seen that show, Netflix show, they like riffed on that, and their theme song is a like auto-tuned remixed news cast basically. And then Mad Max Fury Road is about unbreakable women in many ways, and that came out like a month after, and so somebody matched the two up, and like it truly threw me back in time, because Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorite movies. I watched it on my birthday this year. I love it.
Great birthday film.
And I saw it I remember I saw it with my mom on like a Friday morning the day it came out, because I happened to be visiting my parents in New York. And Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I will always remember the first season of so vividly, because that's when I had scarlet fever, was when I watched the first season of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And I don't remember the experience of watching that first season, because I was so out of my mind with fever.
Oh my gosh.
But I do remember this theme song so vividly. So it was just like, it was a particular like personal time capsule for me of like this very odd period in my life when I had scarlet fever and then arthritis and went to go see Mad Max Fury Road with my mom.
That is a very intense memory. And also I feel like that theme song is a fever dream.
Yes, it is. It really
is.
There's a dog in a suit conducting at some point. Like, it's bizarre.
100% a fever dream. And also, I am so sorry, Lauren.
No, I mean, listen, it's a sort of, I don't know, nice memory, because, you know, when you're really, really sick, there's nothing better than like Netflix dropping an entire season of like a new comedy. Yeah. Right? Like that was just like exactly what I needed time, especially because like I was thinking about this too. It's a little bit of a tangent, but Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was one of like what I think of as like an early Netflix show. Like this was before Stranger Things came out, right? Like, and like Stranger Things was like like House of Cards was huge, but Stranger Things was what really like made Netflix like an original content streamer. And so like this was the time, 2015, even thinking back to then, where like you could definitely find stuff online, but it was not like the streamers were not what they are now. Right. And so like finding stuff to watch when you were sick was not necessarily like the same amount of like ease as it is now. And it was really interesting to think about that, because I don't think of 2015 as that long ago, but it was a very, very different streaming landscape, which, you know, is also why the WGA is on strike right now, to veer a completely opposite direction. But a lot has changed in streaming in the past 8 years, and, you know, things need to change with it.
Gosh, I haven't watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt in so long, but I think that was that was one of those early Netflix shows that everyone was watching. Yes. All at the same time. And, you know, all the memes from it. And gosh, what was the Pinot Noir song, which, oh God, I was obsessed with. Like, what is it? Pinot Noir, Zanzibar, like something
caviar.
Caviar. Yeah. Like,
well, that was Titus Burgess's like breakout role.
Yeah.
Which is wild. And oh my God, the other song that Titus Burgess like sings is when he's like sick and at an audition, and he sings a song about dentists or teeth or whatever. And I just remember watching that and laughing really, really hard. I'll see if I can find a video of it online and post it on our Tumblr, dashboarddiaries.tumblr.com.
If America ever gets to somehow participate in Eurovision, I say we should send Titus Burgess to perform the Pinot Noir song.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of which, that's a perfect time to transition into our main topic, which is Eurovision. Cherokee, do you want to explain what Eurovision is for our non-European listeners?
Eurovision is also a fever dream. Let me explain. So Eurovision is an annual concert in which pretty much not every European country, but a like large proportion of European countries submit a song, and actually, I'm not sure, Lauren, if everyone who submits gets, I think it's any European country can participate, and they, you know, essentially submit their song. There's a few rounds, and then the final round is, I think, 26 final countries, or is it 20 final countries? Obviously, I paid very close attention as I was watching. Each performed this like completely ridiculous, outlandish, like flames shooting from the stage, people flipping. This year there was a human centipede. Like outlandish performances, and then it's the like winning country hosts the following year, and the winner is decided first by a panel of judges from each country who are not able to obviously vote for their own country, and then also a popular vote. The popular vote tends to have the weightier one, but sometimes, all the panel judges will kind of vote for one country and then they just have like a large proportion of the points. But very fun. The show is 4 hours long. The first 2 hours are the performances. The second 2 hours is, hours of deliberation and kind of like, other performances to keep people entertained. But then it is a lot. It is like bright colors. It is so overwhelming and overstimulating. And I dream to go one day.
Oh God, can you imagine? So you watched last night, right?
I did.
Okay. So I've only seen Eurovision like maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, and it's been a good 10 years since I've watched Eurovision. And then I did see the Netflix movie Eurovision.
Classic.
So that's kind of
Loved it.
where I am with my relationship to Eurovision, other than my love of ABBA. But I will say every single year around this time, my Tumblr dash just gets like overwhelmed with Eurovision content. And obviously, like, I do follow plenty of people from Europe because, Tumblr is a beautiful place where like a lot of my mutuals and people that I exchange, like headcanons and fanfic with are people from all over the world. But I also would say I probably mostly follow Americans because I follow a lot of people that I like personally know from real life. And yet, Tumblr just becomes like a European website for Eurovision. Everybody's posting about Eurovision. Eurovision, as of Monday, is currently trending at number 2, and number 4 is the Finnish musical artist who is also trending, and then number 7 is the Slovenian artist who's trending. So, of the top 8 trending topics, 3 of them are Eurovision related, even the next day.
And it was Saturday evening. So
okay. I don't know why I thought it was yesterday.
I think it was trending at number 1 on Sunday and on Saturday as well. Kind of like from the live posting, it started at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
And we got a question from one of our Tumblr followers, Pink Ninja 236, who was curious about any stats that you could share around Eurovision posting this past weekend on Tumblr, if those stats exist as of this moment.
There were 46,000 searches for Eurovision the day that it began, and 15,400 posts about it. On the day of Eurovision, on Saturday the 13th, there were 131.6 thousand searches for Eurovision, 50,500 posts about it, and then 128,000 reblogs of Eurovision posts. Now, there are posts about Eurovision with over 128,000 nodes. So I think that these metrics need the week to populate because I think they're guaranteed to be in the millions. I'll just add after spending 5 minutes saying that, I think it's better to add them as the addendum.
Yeah, well, maybe on our next episode we can talk about it because even by the time this episode releases, it won't have been a week since Eurovision came out. So something to put a pin in for next time for sure. But even as sort of immediate stats, those are interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And also on fandom, I believe it was up at is it number 1? Yeah, so Eurovision was the number 1 talked about television show of the week on Tumblr last week. And I'm going to go back to the section, the little week in review, and Eurovision was the number 1 topic last week on Tumblr overall. So the number 1 talked about thing on Tumblr the week of Eurovision was, unsurprisingly, Eurovision. But actually, I mean, there's a lot of every other show is out right now too. So
yeah. I mean, that's a big deal. And I mean, I'm curious. I don't know if this is information that you have or could share or know, but like what percentage of the Tumblr user base actually like is European?
We don't have the full like country by country breakdown, but I can tell you that about 58%, give or take, of Tumblr users are based in the United States. The second biggest like country is the UK with 5.78% of users.
Okay.
And then 3.81% of users are in Germany. And then 4.42 are in Brazil. So those are kind of our top 4 demos. We have more in-depth ones, but yeah, US is where the brunt is. And then there's, anywhere from, like 0.5 to 5% spread across other major countries around the world.
Which is pretty remarkable. I mean, if the US is 58%, then, the European user base is going to be at least less than 42%, right? Because there's other places in the world other than Europe, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of remarkable that less than half or potentially less than a third of the user base, a contest that they have just takes over the whole platform. I mean, absolutely. I think that shows how like universally beloved Eurovision is, despite the fact that you might not have the same kind of emotional investment as a European might have about their country competing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Eurovision is just so uniquely Tumblr. If you ask me if there is any kind of competition that is Tumblr, Eurovision is absolutely it. I love how excited Tumblr gets about it every year. It's so much fun to watch. And also, I mean, I watched it with friends this year, and we just, everyone was like yelling their opinions at the screen the entire time. And I imagine that's just what it feels like to blog about Eurovision as well.
So I would think so.
Yeah, it was a really great time. Yeah.
It really does feel like it encapsulates everything about Tumblr. It's like high camp, it's music, it's like everybody like finding their fandom camps. It's like you root for the country that you root for.
Yeah.
There's a competition to it. It brings everybody together. I love it. And I have to say, as somebody who has basically watched Eurovision this year just through my Tumblr dash, like, it looks like a particularly exciting year. And also, I sort of walked away with some takeaways that I want to run past you to see if I'm at all correct. Okay. Kind of like, this is what I have understood Eurovision to be this year based on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Is this true?
Oh, exciting.
So starting at the top of trying to figure out who the hell won, mm-hmm. I think either... Because nobody just came out and said that. And that would be too easy.
Yeah, obviously. You have to deduce, Lauren. You have to work for
obviously. The win. I'm going to guess either Sweden or Ukraine won. Is that true? Did one of them win?
Yeah, Sweden won.
Sweden won. Okay.
And you know what? I have opinions there. Look, very beautiful performance, but I have opinions on the win.
So this was the sort of biggest piece of Tumblr consensus that I saw, and why it was so hard to sort of definitively see who actually won, because everybody seems to believe that Finland should have won. Mm-hmm. Specifically, Harja, I think is how it's pronounced. I looked up how it's pronounced in Finnish, but I'm so sorry to all of my, Finnish-speaking followers. And I have yet to watch his performance, but I'm very, very excited because people are just going bonkers over it. There's so much fan art. What was your reaction to watching Finland's performance?
We screamed the entire time. It was oh my gosh, Lauren, I almost want to say, I want to watch you watch it right now. Like, it is it is just what a work of art. Oh my, like it is, I can't even find the words for how incredible it is. My voice is breaking. It was so good. I don't know how it didn't win. Like, it was just such the clear winner out of all the performances. All the other performances were wonderful. I mean, these are the people, the most talented people, with like beautiful songs that are very popular in all their countries. They were all great, but oh my gosh, the Finnish performance, like I'm finished. You know what I mean? That was the only one.
I need to see this thing, and I am actually going to watch it right now with you here.
Oh my god, yes! I'm so glad.
I think that is fun. I'm very excited. I'm scared. Okay, yes, here's the iconic outfit that I've seen so much fan art of: the green puffy sleeves and no shirt, incredible. Right, he's in some sort of like wooden cage.
Yeah, it's like a shipping box.
Techno beats.
I love it. This is what I imagine clubs in Finland are like.
Absolutely. Everyone gets their own shipping crate.
Yes. Honestly, love it for social distancing.
He just popped out of it.
Pops out the top.
Oh my. Whoa, there were so many more people in that
There's
box.
More.
This is incredible. There they go doing the cha-cha.
Oh, to be a dancer and dressed in all pink, tied to a ribbon, tied to a shipping box.
It's a dream. This guy really loves his squats. It's really impressive.
Right?
The strength.
It's just like, I'm so hyped up right now. This is absolutely going on a workout playlist.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
And here, yep.
There's the human centipede. Horrifying. Absolutely incredible. These dancers have the whitest teeth I've ever seen in my life.
We were wondering if they put in fake teeth for this.
They're like, there's eerily good smiles.
So like they're like veneers, right?
Oh, pyrotechnics.
And yep, it has it all, right?
You know, every time I watch a Eurovision performance, I think I know what to expect, and yet I never, ever do.
I want to show you, 30 seconds of the Sweden performance so that you can compare the two, because there is no comparison. Sweden's was beautiful. Finland's was Eurovisionary, you know?
Yes.
Finland won the popular vote by far, but Sweden got 240 points from the judges.
Holy cow. And
Sweden's performance, it was beautiful, but I like Finland's performance just stuck out, you know? So, but, you know, I'm not making accusations. I'm just being salty.
I think it's warranted. And I think that you're in good company. Having watched, you know, 15 seconds of the Swedish performance, it looks beautiful. It sounds like a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I'll watch the whole thing later probably. But it's, Eurovision, you want to go big and go ridiculous, right? And that seemed to be the consensus on Tumblr, was that like Finland should have won. There was also, I saw a lot of love for Germany. Lord of the Lost, I believe, was the band. There was lots of photos of them holding the Progress Pride flag, which I enjoyed. And I think, you know, from what I could glean from actual Finnish fans on Tumblr, like the Finland versus Sweden thing is particularly like contentious simply because I saw some Finnish fans expressing that like Finland and Sweden often sort of get like lumped in together because they're both up there in Northern Europe, right? And that like, you know, Finland came out and like really showed the world this is what Finland was, and then Sweden still like kind of scoops them, which is too bad.
Yeah.
The other thing I saw that I wanted some context on, if you have it, was like there was lots of stuff about Karja, the Finnish singer, and Bohan from a band called Joker Out, which I believe is from Slovenia, and them being like best buds. The Vienna Zoo adopted like a seal for them in their name. Like, that's what's going on there? Do you have any context for me?
I have no context, Lauren. I've never heard of this, and I'm about to dive so deep into that hole because I am now Karja's newest, biggest fan. So I will absolutely be diving into this rabbit hole. Who'd you say that he's friends with? Boden?
Bohan? Bojan? I'm assuming the J is pronounced like an H. But I could be absolutely wrong about that. Joker Out is the band. It's from Slovenia, I believe.
Joker
and I couldn't
Out.
tell, based off the Tumblr tag of Eurovision, I couldn't tell if like, A, they're real life friends. I think they must be real life friends, but I can't gather if they're like new real life friends or if their friendship predated this particular Eurovision.
Yeah.
There is a photo of the Slovenian guy in the big green puffy sleeve jacket. So they definitely like met each other, but I also can tell it's like, is this a thing that people are like shipping? Like, what's going on here? So
I can see shipping
fans
happening for sure. Yeah.
Like,
we should definitely
know what's going on with these two dudes.
Next week or next episode, perhaps do a little Eurovision check-in with some updates on this, because I feel like there's some investigating I would absolutely love to do.
Absolutely.
And I also want the green puffy shirt. I think it's great.
It's a really strong look.
Right? It really is.
With, like,
and,
the
I
spiky
think
collar and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's such a solid look. I think, it's just, and you can wear it for whatever, wear it to work, wear it to the gym, wear it to a coffee shop, wear it on a date. It's just, you have super versatile. A wedding, of course, a wedding, especially if you're in the wedding or officiating the wedding. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, perfect efficient 100%. Outfit. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Ideally without the shirt. Like, it should always be worn with no shirt.
No, that's the only way. Because you wouldn't want to take away from the beauty of the green shirt by adding another material there,
Absolutely not. It would be insulting.
Of course.
The other thing I saw a couple of different memes of that I was like, I don't understand. I don't have the context for this. Was I saw, the community meme of Troy coming into the apartment with all the pizzas and everything is on fire in the apartment. And so like there were a bunch of those memes specifically about Luxembourg being in the Troy position, sort of like Luxembourg like coming into Eurovision and seeing all this craziness. Did Luxembourg perform? Like what was the deal there?
So Luxembourg has not performed in Eurovision since 1993. They will be performing again next year. So they'll be re-entering Eurovision next year. So that's definitely what it was referring to, as Luxembourg re-entering the contest and being like, what
happened? Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to see what Luxembourg does next year.
Yeah, me too. I really like the fact that they announced the year. I'm like, I'm ready. I will be there watching Eurovision live because I've got it like 30 years. Also, they last performed the year of my birth, and now they decided they're back.
Yeah. They've been giving you space to decide if you wanted to move to Europe and become a Eurovision star.
Exactly. And now my birthday usually coincides with Eurovision as well. So I think my birth was such a big deal that Luxembourg was just overwhelmed and was like, we need
some time to process this.
And now they're ready to get back in the game now. Yeah.
I can't wait. Was there anything else in watching Eurovision that was like particularly stand out to you, or something that you think that Tumblr, because you haven't dived into the tag yet, that you think Tumblr might like really grab onto?
I think, my head is so full of Finland that I'm really struggling to think of other, like I watched every performance. I watched those performances less than 48 hours ago, and Finland is just so deep in my psyche that I am right now trying to like, I just need to look, like, I want like a screen grab of every other performance so that they can be jogged in my memory, because even when they announced that Sweden won, I was like, which one was Sweden again? Which performance was that? It's because, Finland is the only thing on my brain. And it's
that's also incredible.
It's funny because I searched Eurovision on Tumblr just, while like, I was like, oh, I'll just pull up the page while we're in this call.
It's only him.
All cha-cha-cha. So honestly, I think that Tumblr, like me, is just so like the cha-cha-cha is so all-encompassing that it's hard to find room for these other really beautiful performances. They were all really like, there were some incredible ballads. The French performance was this really, really beautiful ballad where the singer, she was on a giant kind of platform that made it look like she was wearing like a 12-foot dress. Like the dress part was definitely like covered on the covering like the platform. And so that was a very cool thing. But also I would say one of my thoughts about Eurovision this year is that there was so much less like dancing and movement. A lot of people just kind of stayed in one place during their performance. And I don't know about you, but when I think about Eurovision, I think about like a whole bunch of backup dancers doing ridiculous things and, things flashing on the screen. Yes, exactly.
To close us out, I want to read a post that I think encapsulates the whole Eurovision Tumblr experience for me. It is in the format of a meme that I tried very badly to describe many episodes ago, the boyfriend meme of like, sorry, your boyfriend is now this thing. We've reblogged these types of memes a couple of times on our Desperate Diaries Tumblr. But yeah, this is from a Tumblr user, Nano A1 for you. Hi, sorry. Your boyfriend became good friends with a Finnish guy he was supposed to be competing against. Yeah, they went on dinner dates and cheered each other on during the competition. Yeah, he's been adopted by the Finnish people now. No, you're not getting him back. So sorry. So that's about the Slovenian guy. So I guess they like maybe went out to dinner. Please, Tumblr, solve this mystery for us. We'll do an update on the next episode. But for now, that is the Eurovision Song Contest according to Tumblr.
Lauren, I can't wait for you to watch more of these performances, and can't wait to talk with you more. I was just really, this is actually the first Eurovision I've watched. Surprisingly.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
I previously had only ever experienced Eurovision via Tumblr.
Yeah.
And this year I am so glad I watched it. I am never going back. I will be watching it every year. Oh my gosh. What a moment, what a moment in culture.
Truly.
Bigger
What a
than the
beautiful
Met Gala, for sure.
70-ish years of this perfect competition.
Oh my gosh. I mean, 70 years? Really?
1956, I think, was the first one. So it'll be, it's a little under 70 years, but yeah.
I mean, I can't even believe I had the audacity to compare it to the Met Gala. The Met Gala is tiny compared to Eurovision.
I know. Seriously. Yeah. The Met Gala wishes it could be Eurovision.
Oh, 100%. Also, Eurovision themed Met Gala.
I was just thinking that.
Now.
Yeah, and I think Karya would do really great at the Met Gala. I hope he gets invited next year.
Oh, please invite him. Oh my gosh. Yes, I really
And
hope so.
and Bohan. I'm so sorry. I should have looked at
Yes,
that
of course.
pronunciation too.
I hope they
The two
collaborate
of
on
them
their
can go
costumes.
together. Yes. So other than Finland,
Mhm.
what has you in your feels this week? Let's go on over to our feels corner.
Oh my gosh. Lauren, where do I even begin? I think I'll begin with Yellow Jackets. This week's episode, did you watch it?
I'm
forget
still
if you watched
I
it.
haven't I haven't
haven't-
caught up on the season at all, so don't worry about spoilers for me. I'm good.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you, but this week's episode was just oh my God. Like I actually I think this show has never made me cry before, and this week it absolutely made me cry. Like it was like so intense and just so well acted. Everyone is
amazing.
The casting is just impeccable. It's so much fun to watch. This was a really intense, every episode is so intense, but this episode had some big performances from most characters, honestly. And it has me, I am overwhelmed with I will definitely be rewatching it to kind of get more, because I feel like I was just so in shock about there was just so much packed into this episode. And I feel the same way about Succession. This week's Succession was one of the most intense and maybe one of my favorite episodes of Succession I've seen. Really well done. Also so triggering for anyone in America who experienced any election. So all of us, because it was it was a very clear parallel that they were drawing. And I was just watching it
got flashbacks to that night.
Feeling the stress that I felt in 2020 all over again. I was like, this isn't real. This is a show. This isn't real. This is a show. We are now, the election is over.
Well, and 2016 too, right? Like just the Mencken speech just made me think of sitting on my couch and just sobbing at midnight watching the news.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually, when in 2016, when the polling results were starting to go in the opposite direction, I went to the gym at midnight and ran 6 miles.
Oh my God, incredible!
I don't know what to do. And then the results still weren't in, and I'm not running 6 miles isn't the thing I do. I was just I don't know where that adrenaline came from. Yeah, I was like, what is happening? But yeah, it really did you watch last night's episode?
Yeah.
Oh, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I thought it was an incredible episode. It was so tense. The scene in the conference room with Shiv toward the end was just heart pounding. Yeah. And yeah, no, but I did get election night flashbacks to 2016 and to that the waiting for the call and stuff, because I was on the West Coast too, and so we had results much earlier in some ways.
Yeah.
And so I was out with friends at a bar, and then we all were oh, we actually don't want to be in public for this. We need to all go to our separate homes and watch this in complete silence. Solitary silence.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really curious to see how Succession wraps up. Right?
2 more episodes left? Yeah. How are they supposed to wrap all of this up in 2 episodes?
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
I'm excited to see how they do it. And then I'm going to go rewatch it.
Yes.
What about you? Anything else have you in your feels this week?
Yeah, HBO is really coming through on the Sunday nights. Barry, just the past 2 weeks, has just been
oh my gosh,
astounding. Are you caught up?
I haven't watched last night's episode.
Okay,
I need to hype
seen
myself
the
up
one
to watch
before.
Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the one before, and the one before was just so bleak. So bleak.
I'm gonna put, if you want to watch Barry, don't want to be spoiled for Barry, please skip the next minute to 90 seconds, because I just need to share what shocked me so much about Barry these last 2 weeks. So 3 weeks ago, I think the last time actually we did a Feels Corner, I think I talked about how Barry sort of ended with this stunner in an episode 3 weeks ago. And that stunner was that remember, this is a show that is 4 episodes away from the end of its entire series. And in that moment, they were we are going to do a time jump of 8 years. And I've never seen a show do something that audacious before. And last night's episode was just like true. I can't speak. I cannot speak.
So the time jump, I kept watching it and thinking, this isn't
I know this
real.
is real,
right? This is
real.
This is a dream sequence. This is a dream sequence, right? Yeah. And it's real. And I hate that.
Yeah. And there was something last night too where I was like, the entire time and even after the episode, I was like, is that real? Or like, because they've been messing so much with form this season around like what Barry is thinking and seeing and like all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, it's such a good show. So that was in my feels. And then I finished Jedi Survivor this weekend, and like, Cherokee, I cannot get out of the Star Wars hole that I'm in. Like, I cannot climb my way out. I can't see the top of my own head. Like I've read so many books this year, and I've just been like so deep in on Star Wars, and Jedi Survivor was so good that it's just now sent me into another tailspin around Star Wars. So that will continue to be my feels for the next forever, I think.
Is it a hole or is it a cozy little bunker?
Thank you. It's a cozy little bunker. I'm going to think of it that way.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm Lauren Shippen, and you can find me at thelaurenShippen.tumblr.com.
And I am Cherokee McAnelly. You can find me at overshares.tumblr.com. This has been Dashboard Diaries, and
may your anons always be loving,
your dash always refreshed,
your gifts always be loading,
and your ship always canon.
May the fix you're reading always be finished,
and the answers you seek always in the reblogs.
Thanks for scrolling with us.